All right, welcome to another deep dive. This time we're tackling a pretty universal challenge,
Yeah.
and that is self-sabotage.
Mhm.
We've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
And to help us navigate this tricky terrain, we have Brianna Weiss's book, The
Right.
Mountain Is You.
Such a good book.
It is.
Really powerful metaphor.
Yeah.
I think it's a metaphor that everyone can really relate to.
So have you ever felt like you're kind of stuck at the base camp of your dreams?
Oh, all the time.
Held back by something you just can't seem to overcome? Well,
Mm.
that's your mountain calling, according to Weiss.
It is.
And we're gonna try to figure out how to climb that mountain.
Yeah, let's climb it.
So
Yeah.
what did you think about I thought it was really clever how she takes this symbol of a mountain
Yeah.
and turns it into a metaphor for our internal struggles.
It's such a universal symbol.
It is.
I think it's something that everyone can connect with.
Right. And it's not just sort of this abstract challenge. But she really
You can say very specific.
Yeah, she makes it very specific.
These very real obstacles in our lives.
Right, these very real obstacles that are keeping us from the lives we actually want to be living.
Absolutely.
And I thought one of the things that really resonated with me was her idea of positive disintegration.
Yeah.
Now that sounds a little counterintuitive.
It does.
How can something breaking down be a good thing?
Yeah, it seems like a paradox, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But if you think about it,
Okay.
like a forest that hasn't seen a fire in decades,
Okay.
it might seem healthy and lush
Right.
on the surface,
Right.
but underneath, it's full of all this dead wood and undergrowth.
Uh-huh.
So a fire comes along,
Yeah.
as destructive as it is,
Yeah.
it actually clears out all that dead stuff
Okay.
and allows for new life to come in.
Wow. So are you saying that our rock bottom moments, which we've all had,
Yeah, we've all had them.
they could actually be the spark that ignites real transformation in our lives?
It's like a catalyst, like a forest fire.
Okay.
It kind of forces us to confront the things that aren't serving us anymore.
Okay.
Like, think about someone who loses their job.
Yeah.
Terrible experience.
Of course.
But it can also be an opportunity
Yeah.
to reevaluate their career,
Right.
discover a passion they never knew they had,
Okay.
maybe even start their own business.
Yeah. So what seems like a setback is actually the beginning of something totally new.
Absolutely.
So it's like the mountain is showing us
Yeah.
that sometimes you got to clear out the old to make way for the new.
You got to break it down to build it up.
I like that.
Sometimes you got to.
Okay. So what about
Yeah.
this idea of our mountains being made up of our imperfections?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Are you saying
Our flaws?
how flaws can help us grow?
Part of what allows us to grow.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Just look at nature.
Okay.
Thrives on imperfection.
Okay.
Think of a coastline.
Okay.
It's all the jagged edges, the inlets and coves.
Mm.
That's what creates those vibrant ecosystems.
Right.
If everything were smooth
Yeah.
and uniform,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be as much diversity,
Okay.
less resilience.
So if you're someone who's like a perfectionist,
Right.
that might be holding you back.
It might be time to reframe that thinking.
Yeah. Your flaws.
Yeah.
Your quirks.
That's what makes you you.
That's what makes you unique.
Yeah, gives you the potential to adapt and evolve.
Okay. But how do we figure out
Yeah, how do we know?
what our personal mountain is made of?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
I mean, Weisef gives us like,
She gives us a pretty big list.
yeah, she gives us a lot of potential culprits
Yeah.
in the book, like addiction,
Yeah.
unhealthy relationships,
Procrastination, fear of failure,
procrastination, fear of failure.
all those things.
Yeah.
But she,
But it goes deeper than that.
yeah, she goes beyond just listing those common challenges, right?
Mm-hmm.
She encourages us to dig a little deeper.
She makes this really interesting distinction between what she calls circumstantial problems,
Okay.
which are just part of life, like,
Right, like getting a flat tire.
yeah, getting a flat tire.
Stuff happens.
And then there's these chronic problems
yeah, the ones that keep coming back.
that keep showing up in different forms.
Right, like maybe you always end up in jobs you hate.
Exactly.
Or you keep attracting the same kind of toxic person.
Yeah, so it's about
It's about recognizing those patterns.
recognizing those repeating patterns.
The things that keep tripping you up.
Right, and that is a crucial distinction to make.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly hitting the same roadblock,
Mhm.
whether it's in your relationships, your career,
Or your personal life.
that's a pretty good sign
Yeah.
that there might be some deeper patterns at play.
Yeah.
It's not just bad luck.
Not just circumstance.
It's recognizing
how the role you might be playing.
role you're playing in creating those challenges.
Right. So it's like the mountain is showing you something.
Yeah, the mountain's a reflection of
Like your inner landscape.
our inner landscape.
Yeah. And those are the areas where you might need to do some work.
We might need to excavate and restructure.
Exactly.
Right, so how do we actually start chipping away at those layers?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it as simple as just identifying the problem?
I wish it were that easy.
I know, right?
We'd all be at the summit by now.
We'd all be enlightened already.
Yeah, right.
But,
But Weiss talks about this idea
Okay.
of breakdown and breakthrough,
okay.
where hitting that point of feeling totally stuck.
Okay, so like you're at the base of the mountain
You're at the base of the mountain,
with no way to go.
and you just feel stuck.
Okay.
And that can actually be
Like the rock bottom.
like the doorway to a breakthrough.
Okay.
It's about embracing that moment of surrender
Okay.
and realizing, okay, I need to change something,
Yeah.
and then committing to doing the work.
Yeah. So those breaking points,
Yeah.
which we often see as failures,
Mm-hmm.
can actually be
The starting line.
the starting line of a new,
Till something better.
of a more empowered chapter.
Exactly.
But change can be scary, right?
Oh, it's terrifying.
Like we cling to what's familiar,
Right.
even if it's not good for us.
Even if it's not serving us.
And I think that's why Weiss really emphasizes this idea
Of releasing the old
of
self.
releasing the old self,
Yeah.
which is basically
Like saying goodbye to the person you used to be.
acknowledging that the version of you that got you to this point
Yeah.
might not be the version that's going to get you to the summit.
Might need to upgrade.
It's about letting go
Yeah, letting go of
of those outdated beliefs,
the habits.
maybe even relationships
Yeah.
that aren't serving you anymore.
Yeah, it's about making space
To make space
for the new you.
for the person you're becoming,
For the person you're becoming.
for the person you're meant to be.
And she uses this really powerful image of almost like a death of the old self. Yeah, it's like
Like you're shedding
shedding your skin
the old skin to make way for something new to emerge.
for something beautiful to emerge.
Yeah, it's intense.
Kind of intense, right?
But it's also exciting.
But also pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Like you're,
It's a transformation.
yeah, total transformation.
Yeah.
So if we're ready to do that,
You ready to let go?
to let go and step into this new version of ourselves,
Yeah.
what does that actually look like in practice?
That's a great question, and that's what we're going to talk about when we come back.
Yeah, stay tuned.
We'll dive into that.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're continuing our climb up the mountain is you, with Brianna Weist leading the way.
Yeah, she's a great guide.
So before the break, we were talking about this idea of releasing the old self to make room for growth.
Yeah, it's essential.
And I thought it was really interesting how Weist emphasizes this idea of actually mourning the loss of our old selves.
Yeah, you kind of have to grieve that old version of yourself.
It sounds strange at first, right?
It does.
But when you think about it,
Yeah.
those old patterns, those old beliefs,
Even the bad ones.
even the ones that weren't serving us,
Yeah,
they were still a part of who we were
right. They shaped our experiences.
for a long time.
Yeah, so letting them go,
It can feel
it can feel like a real loss.
like a genuine loss.
Yeah, you're letting go of a part of yourself.
So how do we actually mourn something that's not,
Right, it's not like a physical loss.
a physical loss, right?
Yeah, it's more of an internal process.
So what does that look like?
Well, Weiss suggests a few things you can do.
Okay.
One is to just reflect on those old patterns
Okay.
and try to understand why you had them.
Okay, so try to understand,
Yeah, what need were they fulfilling?
like, what purpose did they serve?
Yeah, what were you afraid of back then?
Okay.
So, for example,
Yeah.
maybe you used to be a people pleaser
Okay.
because you're terrified of rejection.
Okay, so by understanding that fear,
Yeah,
you can,
you can start to have compassion for yourself.
or that younger version of myself.
Yeah, the younger version of yourself.
Okay, and then maybe I can release that pattern.
And you don't have to carry it with you anymore.
Okay, so it's not about,
It's not about judging yourself.
yeah, it's not about beating yourself up.
It's about understanding.
It's about recognizing those underlying motivations.
Yeah, and recognizing that
And maybe,
they served a purpose at some point,
yeah,
even if they're not serving you now.
it's like thanking that old version of ourselves for getting us this far,
Yeah,
but then,
letting it go.
gently setting it free.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as you do that,
Yeah.
you create space for something new.
Okay.
And that's where this idea of embracing the hero within comes in.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, it's a powerful concept.
So it's not just about
It's not just about getting rid of the old.
shedding the old,
It's about stepping into a new you,
a more empowered and authentic version of ourselves.
the best version of yourself,
That's the hero.
the hero within.
So how do we find that hero?
Well, every hero has a journey,
That's true.
and every journey has challenges,
Yeah.
obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
And your mountain,
Yeah.
that's your hero's journey.
So we all have that potential
You have the potential
to be a hero.
to be a hero.
Wow.
You have strength and resilience that you might not even know you have.
But sometimes it's hard to see that potential.
It is, especially when you're feeling stuck.
When you're feeling discouraged, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't feel very heroic when you're at the bottom of a mountain, you know?
Right. You just feel tired and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But Weiss talks about the power of envisioning your future self.
Oh, okay. So instead
Instead of
of
focusing on where you are now.
yeah, the present moment.
Yeah.
Try to picture
Picture who you want to be.
once you've reached the summit.
Yeah. What qualities do you want to have?
Okay.
What will your life look like?
So it's not just about
It's not just daydreaming.
Yeah.
It's about
more intentional.
creating a roadmap.
Creating a roadmap for our future selves.
Yeah. And when you get specific about that vision,
Okay.
it's like you create this magnetic pull
Okay.
towards that future.
So I start to become that person.
Yeah, you start to embody those qualities.
Wow.
It's like setting your GPS towards your goals.
I like that analogy.
And then you just have to take the steps.
Follow the map.
Follow
the map. And Weiss really emphasizes that it's not just about reaching the summit, right?
No.
It's about
who you become along the way.
it's about the journey.
It's about the journey.
So what are some of the qualities we might need to develop?
Well, she talks about 3 essential skills
Okay. Let's hear them.
for the inner mountain climber.
Okay.
Agility,
Okay.
resilience,
Okay.
and self-understanding.
All right. So agility.
Agility is all about being adaptable and flexible,
Okay.
like a mountain goat. Navigating a rocky terrain,
Okay.
being able to adjust your course
Okay.
when you encounter obstacles.
When things don't go according to plan.
Exactly. Life is full of surprises.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And your ability to adapt
Yeah.
is crucial for your success.
Okay.
So instead of getting discouraged
Yeah.
when things go wrong,
Yeah.
you got to be able to pivot.
Okay.
Find a new path.
Yeah. Like a mountain climber.
Yeah,
Having to reroute because of the weather. We
exactly.
got to be able to adjust our plans, our strategies, even our mindset sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you got to change your perspective.
Wow. Okay, so agility, that's number 1.
That's number 1.
Okay, what about resilience?
Resilience is all about bouncing back
Okay.
from setbacks,
All right.
learning from your mistakes, and keeping moving forward,
Even when it gets tough.
even when you want to give up.
Okay.
And a key part of that is self-compassion.
Okay, self-compassion.
Yeah.
And remind me what that is again.
Self-compassion is about treating yourself with kindness and understanding,
Okay.
especially when you're struggling.
So it's easy to beat ourselves up
Oh, it's so easy to be our own worst critic.
when we make a mistake
Yeah.
or things don't go our way.
Yeah. But imagine if you had a friend
Okay.
who was climbing a mountain and they stumbled.
Yeah.
Would you tell them they were a failure,
No.
or would you offer them support?
I would support them, yeah.
Exactly.
So self-compassion is about
It's about extending that same kindness to yourself
to myself.
when you make a mistake,
Okay.
when you're feeling down.
Because we're all human.
We're all human.
We all make mistakes.
It's part of the journey.
And that's okay.
It's okay to mess up.
We can learn from them.
Yeah, you can learn from those experiences.
Okay, so that's a big shift in perspective.
It is.
So we've got agility, we've got resilience. What about self-understanding?
Self-understanding.
How does that play into this journey?
Self-understanding is about knowing yourself deeply.
Okay.
It's about understanding your values, your beliefs,
Okay.
your motivations, your strengths,
Okay.
and your weaknesses.
Your weaknesses, too?
Yes, even your weaknesses.
Okay.
It's about being honest with yourself.
So it's like I'm becoming my own best friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're getting to know yourself inside and out.
Okay.
And as you do that,
Yeah.
you're better able to make choices that align with who you really are.
Okay.
You can set boundaries.
Okay.
You can say no to things that don't serve you.
Yeah.
And you can pursue the things that bring you joy.
So it's about becoming more conscious
More intentional.
about my life and the choices that I make.
Yeah, it's about making choices that align with your values.
Wow, this is so insightful.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gaining this whole new level of clarity.
It's like you're seeing the world
about myself, yeah.
through a new lens.
And my journey.
Yeah.
But there's one concept we haven't touched on yet.
Oh, and it's a big one.
And it's a big one.
It's at the heart of the book.
It's this idea that our mountains are ultimately reflections of ourselves.
Yeah, that's a powerful concept.
It sounds kind of mysterious.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a Zen koan.
But what does it actually mean?
That's what we're going to unpack after the break.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to the deep dive. We are in the final stretch of our climb up The Mountain Is You.
Almost this idea
This really profound idea.
that our mountains are actually reflections of ourselves.
Yeah, so it's kind of mysterious though, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit mystical.
Like, how can a mountain be a reflection of me?
Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
If our mountains represent the challenges that we face,
Okay, the things that are holding us back,
the things that are blocking us from the lives we want.
then they're not really external forces, are they?
Okay, so it's not about bad luck
Not about bad luck
or other people.
or blaming other people.
It's more about
It's about recognizing,
how our own patterns and beliefs,
yeah, your own thoughts, your own behaviors,
even our subconscious
what are
fear,
subconscious fears, yeah.
are shaping the challenges that we face.
Absolutely.
So it's like we're creating our own mountains in a way.
You're creating your own reality.
Wow.
And that's where it gets really powerful.
Okay.
Because if our mountains are reflections of ourselves,
Yeah.
then overcoming them isn't just about conquering an obstacle.
Right.
It's about understanding yourself,
Okay, so it's about mastering myself.
mastering yourself.
And I guess just like
Yeah.
looking in a mirror sometimes, it can
Mhm.
be kind of uncomfortable
It can be scary.
to confront those reflections.
Yeah, you don't always like what you see.
Right. We might not like what we see.
But just like a mirror,
Yeah.
the mountain doesn't lie.
Oh, okay.
It shows you what's there.
What's really there?
And the more you're willing to look, honestly,
Yeah.
the more you can understand yourself
And then maybe change.
and make the changes that you need to make.
So how do we actually start to see our mountains as these reflections of ourselves?
It's a process.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty big mental shift.
It is a shift in perspective.
Okay.
And it starts with self-awareness.
Okay.
Paying attention to those patterns in your life,
The patterns that keep repeating
the challenges that keep coming up,
no matter what I do.
no matter what you do.
So I got to ask myself,
You got to ask yourself,
what role am I playing in creating this?
yeah, what's your part in this?
Instead of just focusing on the problem,
Yeah,
I got to look for the deeper meaning behind it.
the deeper meaning,
I mean,
yeah.
what's the lesson here?
Yeah, what's the mountain trying to teach you?
Wow. What is this mountain trying to teach me about myself?
Exactly.
That's a good question.
And that deeper meaning
Yeah.
is often about those unconscious beliefs and fears.
Oh.
Those patterns that are driving your behavior.
Yeah.
So get curious.
Okay.
Ask yourself, why am I creating this pattern?
Okay.
What need is it fulfilling?
Wow.
What am I afraid of?
It's like I'm an archaeologist
You're digging deep
of my own mind.
into your own psyche,
Yeah, I'm uncovering these hidden layers.
the layers that are shaping your reality.
Wow.
And as you do that,
Yeah.
you start to understand yourself in a whole new way.
Okay.
You see how your past experiences,
Yeah.
your beliefs, your fears
Yeah.
are influencing your present.
Okay.
And you start to see that you have the power to change those patterns.
So the mountain,
The mountain.
which felt like this impossible obstacle,
Yeah.
is actually a pathway
A pathway
to self-discovery.
to transformation.
It's a journey.
It's a journey, yeah.
And that's really the beauty of this perspective, right? Our
Mhm.
challenges.
The things that we see as mountains
Yeah.
are actually opportunities.
They're opportunities in disguise
They're chances to learn and grow,
to become better versions of ourselves.
to become the hero of your own story.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, it's about embracing that hero within,
Yeah.
recognizing that you have everything you need
Already inside me.
to climb that mountain
And reach the summit.
and reach the summit.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
So for anyone listening who's feeling kind of stuck
Yeah.
or discouraged,
At the base of their mountain,
remember,
you have a hero inside you.
there's a hero inside all of us.
You have the strength, the resilience,
Yeah.
the wisdom to overcome those challenges.
And create a life that is truly fulfilling.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, yeah.
And remember,
Yeah.
the journey is just as important as the destination.
It's about who I become along the way.
Exactly.
So it sounds like we have reached the summit
We made it.
of our deep dive into The Mountain Is You.
It was a good climb.
It was a great climb, and I hope everyone listening has gathered some valuable tools
Yeah.
and insights
For your own journey
for their own journey
of self-mastery.
of self-mastery.
It's a lifelong journey,
It is.
but it's a worthwhile one.
Yeah.
And remember,
Yeah.
the journey doesn't end here.
So keep exploring.
Keep learning.
Keep climbing.
The view from the top is amazing.
What resonated most with you from Brianna Weiss's perspective?
What did you learn?
What step can you take today to start climbing your own mountain?
Yeah. What's your first step?
And most importantly,
Yeah.
who do you become
Who are you becoming?
in the process?
That's the real question.
That's the real question. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep reaching for those peaks within you.
Yeah. We'll see you at the next summit.